Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Wizards Outlook. As always, got Cardell, Dudley Jr., Raymond, Lyons, Wilson Tarpeh Jr. And tonight, the Washington Wizards, they held on to beat the Bulls 105-101, doing this really weird thing. It's a new fad for good teams. They play defense down the stretch. It was really weird. Cardell had me dying with some of the tweets at the end of the game. But, they got stops when it mattered, which is – I thought it was something that wasn't possible, but got to give him credit. Alex Len was big at the rim, didn't do anything but just make himself big. Then a swipe down, kept his hands up, and Levine tried to go around him and just didn't hit the layup. But Ray, we'll start with you. Just your initial thoughts on the Wizards holding off the Bulls tonight.
Yeah, man, just with them, it begins and ends with their defense. The two wins they got on this road trip is because they defended well. We talked about it after the first game against Miami when they locked them up in the second half, and tonight same thing. They played defense down the stretch. They were aggressive. They were disciplined, and they did what they had to do. And it came in handy because they kind of limped to the end of the game. Their offense, it just wasn't there. I think they went about 4 minutes without scoring. But you can do that when you're stopping the other team from scoring as well. You mentioned Alex Len. He showed a pulse tonight, and that was big for him after the disappointing game the other night when he got the start. And he responded well. And kudos to Brooks for giving him another shot to redeem himself. And he made the most of it. He had the great challenge at the rim on the last drive by Zach LaVine, forcing him to miss, which pretty much sealed the game. I think the Wizards kind of matched the Bulls' sloppy play to start out the game. Chicago was turning the ball over, and the Wizards, matched their futility on offense as well. When the Wizards come out and play bad like this, they find themselves down by 25 points. So they got to find a way to take advantage when teams leave the door open. And they just kind of let Chicago hang around, and they had to do a little more work than they probably should have. But they toughed it out, got the win. Rui was aggressive. I don't know if he had some extra energy because it was his birthday, but he played really well. Of course, Bradley Beal did what he did. Him and Alex Len, they kind of worked the pick and roll well this game. Interesting to see if that's something they keep going to in the future. But yeah, man, they gutted it out. And, it's always good for them to get one in the win column. And now they got a few at home. Maybe they can, string together some type of continuity and and stack up a couple more wins. I know they're in a rough part of their schedule, but if they defend, they have a chance every game. I don't care who they play against because they can score with the best of them. They just have to bring it on the other end as well. But as always, glad to see them get a win. It's good not to come on here and just be all doom and gloom. But yeah, man, kudos to them. Good win tonight. Hopefully they can get it done against Toronto next.
Yeah, you ain't had to call me out like that. Maybe I enjoy being doom and gloom, right? But nah, Cardell, go ahead. Your thoughts on tonight's game.
The game was won up front with the starting front courts. The Wizards outscored them 44-31, which is rare. You don't normally see that. I see Scott Brooks made some adjustments. Denny come off the bench. He's a rookie. He got to learn, but he's not learning quick enough to keep him in there. So he had to do what he had to do. He put Bertans on there, who has been up and down defensively and definitely not bringing the shooting that you expect from him. But I think the thing you saw tonight is playing with the starters that draw more attention, like Brad and Rui had it going with a double-double or not. It opened things up for him, whereas playing with the second unit, they know to kind of focus on him. When Bill and all those guys go to the bench, and even if Russ is still in the game, Russ is not a knockdown shooter. So in a sense, you can still focus on Bertans. So he got loose a little bit, knocked down 4 of 11 from 3. Rui looks like he's becoming Rui that we saw in the preseason, battling KD and all those guys with the Nets. Nice double-double, 19 to 10, 7 to 13. Even took a charge, you know what I'm saying? From what I said, I learned it's his first charge taken all season. So it shows an adjustment, man. It was funny seeing that. But, man, if he brings this type of production every game, that's all the Wizards need. They ain't asking him to save the world. Just do that. Then you got somebody to go on to rely on, outside of Bill, because that's what they need him to be, especially when Russ is out. And Alex Len, I felt like he was just huge, man, defensively. 7 boards, couple blocks. But look at how many shots he altered. You know what I mean? He gives them a level of size and athleticism that they haven't had since Thomas went down. You know what I mean? And I love the pick and roll action between Bill and Len. Chicago didn't know what to do. They shrunk the floor to try to crowd Bill. It was a lob. If they ain't get the Bill quick enough, it was a layup. So that's something that the Wizards can milk. Put that in the playbook because it was killing. Even when they went away from it, it seemed like the Wizards got in trouble. You know what I mean? So it's like when they went right back to it, Bill closed the game out. Simple as that. So they got something with that. And I like the fact that the Wiz attacked the basket. They shot 27 to 36 from the free throw line. They don't normally get that many free throw attempts. Bill might get a few, but they attack and they should attack. Markkinen's out and Wendell Carter. They're wounded. So attack the bigs. I mean, Gafford's the only athletic big back there that you got to kind of worry about blocking your shot. They got him in foul trouble. He went to the bench. Then it was open season. You know what I mean? So you got a bunch of wings going down there, and credit to the Wizards, they took advantage. And I like the fact that a couple of their key players, they gave him a rough time. Like Garrett Temple 1 for 8, Kobe White 3 for 10. You know what I'm saying? Those are two guys that they rely on to score the ball. Kobe White's averaging 15. Garrett Temple's averaging 10. Temple when he finished with 2 points. Kobe White when he finished with 8. So you held, two of their starting caliber, whatever, depending on the matchup. Y'all held them below their average for scoring. When's the last time we ever said that about the Wizards? You know what I mean? It's just, Levine gonna get his because he's just that dynamic. He's playing at all-star level. But the rest of the guys, they made them work, and honestly, they shut them down. That's how they won. Second quarter, they only allowed 21 points, and that was the cushion that helped them for the remaining quarters. Even though it was close, Washington was still outscored in the third and fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So defense is what won this game, and where I can't think of a game where we could say that like defense literally won this game because they didn't have the best offensive production. It came down to that end. They took pride in it. They battled. They were physical, and they got the win. That's all we ask. And if you could do that, then you're gonna be in every game, and you got to close. You got Bill. So I like those chances. It's just on them to be consistent.
Yeah, not too much to add. Rui, happy birthday to him, but this needs to be that type of effort. From him every night. They need it. Love what Len brings, like you guys said. They better not go away from that Bill Len screen roll. That needs to be a staple going forward because it just opened the floor for everybody else as well with those two. And we mentioned a couple of nights ago, one of the things that we all kind of liked about Len was once he catches the ball, there's nothing sweet about it once he catches it in the paint. Yeah. It's all bad intentions. It might take a little bit, but there's no, let me shoot a turnaround, or you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to end you, and it's a much needed vibe for a team where their front line doesn't have that many folks like that, especially with TB since TB went down. It was nobody going to finish over the rim or just being that aggressive down in the post to begin with, and then him just being a footer and accepting being a footer on the defensive end played a big role in why they were able to hold the others of Chicago under what they're doing. Because the others, once you run them off the line, like they're not about to go challenge shot blockers like that on a regular basis. Cody did a couple times, but it was really floaters. Zach did a couple times, and Cardell said, Zach. So I'm not even tripping off that. But for the most part, people not named Zach LaVine didn't do much in the paint. I was so happy they didn't settle for jumpers because all y'all don't need to be settling for jumpers. There's like one person over there that it's okay sometimes that they settle for a jumper, and that's sometimes. even then, I love that the late play after Brad kind of tricked off one of the free throws late, split the pair. They get the stop. I love that Brooks called something where he was getting downhill, got the double screens up top, and it was get right downhill. Nothing, no, there was nothing about it where it was like, we're gonna take a three or a jumper's gonna be taken. Get downhill, you get the foul, you get back to the line. And that's the thing. They're backcourt. You got two dudes who can't get downhill. Like, just it's okay to live in the paint. It's all right. Some of y'all, and that's why on a night like this where you have Rui going, like Rui knows he's not a big 3-point shooter. He'll take some, but he's fine with his turnarounds. He'll get his mid-range jumpers. He'll get down there and consistently be him. And I know, some folks don't like it, but it's something that's definitely needed here, especially when that second unit comes in at times. And I kind of like Denny coming off the bench a little bit, where on that second unit, at least with tonight, it's another playmaker on that second unit. It seemed a little bit more comfortable for him. And yeah, with Bertans, yeah, I mean, this is what it is. Like you guys mentioned, you put him on the floor with the other with people that garner more attention. Hopefully, he'll make the most of the looks. We'll see how that goes going forward. But all in all, man, it was good to see them actually win a game because they did the whole defense thing, which is weird, but they did it. And it was like consecutive stops too. So give them credit for that. You guys, anything you guys want to add?
Nah, man, you said it all. Just they won ugly. Sometimes you got to win ugly, but a win is a win. They don't really care how you get it. You just got to get it. So they haven't been shooting the ball well from deep. Scott Brooks had to switch the game plan up. He had to go southpaw, win the game ugly. Get in the paint, get to the free throw line. That's how you can also get 3 points. It don't always have to be the way the analytic boys wanted to be, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus the analytic way got them at 6 and 15. So just play basketball and adjust on the fly.
Right. Final thoughts?
They got to find a way to not be on so far ends of the spectrum from game to game defensively. Like last game, we saw a stark contrast to what we saw tonight. On Sunday, they just seemed disinterested in stopping anything. Tonight was the complete opposite. They were gritty. They were tough. They were aggressive. If they can find a way to even just bring it in a little bit, they're either locking somebody up and holding them to 100 points, 99 points, or what have you, or they're giving up 140. Like they got to find a way to close that gap from game to game, and then we might start to see, some different results. But as long as it's just a roller coaster like that, then the results are going to reflect that. More often than not, they're going to come out on the losing end. But yeah, man, it's just good to see him win one. Those are far and few between this season. So just looking forward to more of that. And again, I know Brooks is still trying to find, rotations that work. I think the next game you kind of go what you had tonight. Especially, if Lynn's going to play like this, then you keep him out there. And Cardell, you made a good point. While Bertans maybe in the starting lineup, I know he's Swiss cheese defensively, but he did get some higher quality looks as opposed to other situations when he's coming off the bench and they know, all right, we gotta just stop this guy from catching and shooting. It's different when you got to worry about Brad being out there and Lynn rolling to the basket and doing work that way. It does kind of open things up for him. So I don't know. Maybe you experiment with this again, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, go back to the drawing board. But they just need consistency in all aspects. But yeah, man, just looking forward to what they got for us on Wednesday.
Yeah, and like
it also seems
go ahead, Cardell.
real quick before you go, it also seems like they play better once their manhood has been challenged. If you notice that throughout the season, and last game, it wasn't really coming from the coaches and fans. Bill said it. We he kept the we in it, but we know who he was talking about. Like, we ain't got no dogs, and they heard it. You know what I'm saying? They got social media, they heard it and stuff like that. And but how can you get mad at them? Look how y'all played. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the first time a player has kind of came out and said that. You know what I mean? So that might have struck a nerve. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what it takes for them to play how they played tonight, should keep challenging their manhoods, whatever it takes. It's called pushing buttons. You know, some guys are laid back. You got to light a fire on them. Some dudes already there. You on 100. You got to keep them contained before they fuck around, get kicked out the game or something like that. They amp. You know, you just got to know your personnel. So if that's what it takes, so be it. You know, because right now, you know, the hard reality of pro sports, they don't start winning games. It's matter of fact, even if they start winning games, there's gonna be some dudes that ain't gonna be here next year. So we just gonna call it what it is, man.
But some of them, it might not take till next year. Stuff don't change quick. Again, I'm sorry. You know, everything was going too well. A doom and gloom moment for, you know, tonight's show. But nah, just being honest, like, you are one of the worst teams in the league at this moment. You know? Like Cardell said, it's pro sports. Things will happen if things don't change. So we want to thank you guys for hanging with us tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Tuesday, as always, 8 p.m., Focus TV. You can catch it tomorrow live, Friday on DC TV. And then Wednesday and Friday of this week, we got something new for you guys. It's called the G League Rundown. G League season kicks off this Wednesday. So even when we have Wizards games, still Wednesdays and Fridays, going to have that going on for you guys. I think literally this week could be a great example of that. Got Wizards both Wednesday and Friday. So you'll see us for Wizards Outlook, quickly followed by G League Rundown. So don't go anywhere. You know, again, you guys have a great night. For Raymond, Cardell, Wilson, and Wizards Outlook.